Well, the Trump administration violated the law by sending the National Guard to Los Angeles. That is the ruling from a California federal judge. The judge found the Trump administration violated the Posse Comitatus Act, which prohibits the president from using the military as a domestic police force without congressional approval. 4,000 National Guard troops, 700 Marines were sent to Los Angeles after protests in the city over Trump's immigration policies. Well, regardless of that ruling, the president says Chicago is next. He is pledging to send in the National Guard into the city to deal with local crime.
Well, we're going in. I didn't say when. We're going in. When you lose, look, I have an obligation. This isn't a political thing.
President Trump claiming that Washington, D.C. is now a safe zone after he federalized the police force there. Illinois' governor says the president is ignoring the law.
It's un-American. It's anti-American. Literally putting troops into American cities, attacking the people of Chicago who don't want him here.
Joining us now to discuss King 5 law enforcement analyst, former King County Sheriff John Urquhart. Thanks for being here. First, your reaction to the judge's ruling.
Well, I think the judge's ruling is good because it puts it down in the law what he can do and what he can't do. Whether Trump is going to go along with this or not remains to be seen. But it's real clear. It was a 52-page ruling. He was very, very clear in what he said. And part of it was you can't have a national police force with the president as the police chief. And it doesn't matter who the president is. That's an important ruling.
He said exactly that the president can't be the police chief. Exactly. So what do you make of D.C. saying it is now going to cooperate with the president, keep the federal troops that are there? They're maintaining the law.
Well, I don't think D.C. really has a choice about whether they stay or not. That's up to the president.
Yeah, it's not a state.
It's not a state. And it's probably legal what he's doing in D.C. Mm-hmm. The question is it working or not? He says it is.
What are you
I'm
hearing
not so
from
sure.
people in law enforcement about whether it's working or not?
Well, you look at they haven't been able to get indictments in several cases where the U.S. attorney there has taken the case to a grand jury, and the grand jury has refused to indict. So it's not working from that standpoint. The mayor says that carjackings are way down, 87% down. So the question is that working, or is it just the fact that they are there and are visible in some parts of the city? Is that making it work? So who really knows what's going on?
Right. The judge emphasized the constitutional limits of deploying the military for domestic purposes. Do you believe that the same reasoning will apply as Trump is already promising he's going to send in federal troops to Chicago?
Exactly the same ruling. You know, you cannot use federal troops to do local police work. It's real clear. It's black letter law, and the judge has reaffirmed that. This Posse Comitatus Act goes back to 1878, and it's never been overturned. It's never been modified. It is the law of the land, and Trump and the Department of Defense has tried to phony it up so they're able to do that. First in L.A., and now they want to do it in Chicago, and then in Baltimore, and perhaps even Seattle or Portland.
And it appears he may just ignore the judge's ruling. That's what it appears today. You know, I want to talk to you about when you were leading law enforcement here back in 2015. You were managing some pretty big situations, protests, unrest. What would it mean if in that kind of a situation, I think it was the May Day riots, if you had federal troops also here, how would you and local law enforcement manage public trust and public safety?
Well, having local troops, having National Guard come in for protests is one thing. And we did that in 1990 during WTO. Mm-hmm. There was really exhaustive efforts there to handle the situation. And it took the National Guard to come in. So I have no problem with doing that in certain situations. During the May Day protests, they were pretty much handled by the Seattle Police Department every single May Day for several years. Didn't really need the National Guard to come in. But if they did, if they were there to be seen, to help control the streets, the rioters, that's one thing. But doing on-the-street police work is something totally different.
And being brought in at the request of the state versus being sent in by the president. It's different.
That's the key. It's absolutely different. Certainly with WTO, the governor wanted them to come in. The mayor of Seattle, Paul Schell, wanted them to come in. Right now, it's just the opposite. The governors of Baltimore, or the governor of Maryland, the mayor of Baltimore, the governor of Illinois especially, and Newsom in California, they do not want the National Guard to come in and do police work. It's counterproductive, and it's not going to work.
30 seconds. What do you expect is happening next? What should we expect?
Trump is hedging a little bit about going into Chicago. He says he's going to do it, but he also says, and I haven't said when. So it's hard to say what he's going to do. And it's hard to say, will he totally ignore this particular court order, or will he wait till the Supreme Court weighs in? And that's going to be where this ends up.
So we're going to keep following it, and we'll keep having you back, because
And
there
I'll
will
probably-
be another development for
I will
sure.
probably be back. Exactly.
Sheriff, thank you so much. We appreciate your time always.
Thank you.
Thank you.